I did the visit again to that White House. That's when I did actually the first ghost hunting was the one that I told you on the last episode where we did the Queen Mary
Right.
boat. And that was the first where we went out and actually looked for something to happen. Then that happened. The one that was pretty crazy was I was doing some research in near a Highway 91 in Irvine, where back in the 60s or 70s, there was a reptilian figure that was spotted and it caused an accident. So I went to the actual bridge where it happened and I was, going around. I got off and I went under the tunnel and everything. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. By that bridge, there's this mountain and it's a neighborhood. And once you get to the top, it's a neighborhood, but there's a certain location where it's known that at night things happen. So of course, I'm like, I'm older now.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I'm like, I'm not gonna take anybody because people are gonna freak out, and I don't want anybody stopping me from doing this investigation. I go out there, take my flashlight, got my knife, got my gun. We're okay, following the trail. They say, okay, you follow this trail, you'll get to a gate. Once you get to the gate, maybe 15 minutes from there, it's a school bus. 10 minutes from the school bus is a car wreck. And then 12 minutes after the car wreck, it's like a cemetery. A lot of folks that have gone up there say they don't make it to the cemetery because once they get to the school bus, they start hearing either children crying or yells.
So was there a school bus accident out there? What was that?
So they say that back in the 80s that there was that bus through the mountains and it just derailed, caused an accident. But there's no story behind it. I look for it. There's no newsletters. There's no news report. But the bus is there. The car wreck is there. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's check it out. If something really is there and there's something, people always catch something. I want to catch something and record it. I want to catch it on a voice recorder. I have my phone. I'm going. I find a fence. I'm like, all right, from here, 15 minutes to the bus. I'm going. And I maybe had about 5 minutes till I reached that bus because I was timing it. And I started hearing footsteps, but not footsteps behind me. It was footsteps to the side of me on both sides. But when you would put the lantern, because it's not thick trees, it's just trees with small, like juniper trees.
Yeah.
No, nobody there. I take a few more steps, and now in the direction in front of me, someone throws a rock. Lands by my feet. Yeah, it lands by my feet, and I'm like, okay, there's no possible way a ghost is going to grab a rock and chuck it at me. This has to be a human. Take out my knife, have my gun, and I start running towards it. All of a sudden, I hear a ha! I stop, and I'm like, wait, what? I look around, but the sound is just the way that the sound came. The mountain, that part of the trail is kind of in a crescent, so everything echoes. So you can't really pinpoint where the noise is coming from. So I'm like, okay. I grab a rock. I chuck it. As soon as I see this rock go maybe start arching down, I know it wasn't the same rock. But another similar rock, as soon as the rock I threw hits the arch and starts going down, another rock, the rock that I threw vanishes. The same size rock comes towards me, where if I wouldn't have moved, it would have clocked me. And that was a good sized rock where if it would have clocked me, I probably would have been knocked out and I don't know what would have happened.
That would have hurt.
Oof.
I didn't want to explore that no more.
Did you hear your rock thud or something? Did you hear it thud?
No.
So it's like
That's why
boomerang back at you or something.
that's why I'm like, as I threw it. I'm looking at the direction. I see it start coming down. Then it hits darkness. And as soon as it vanishes from my eye view is when I see the other rock come up. But I don't hear my rock land. But this, I'm telling you, it was the same size rock. And maybe if I took a minute to like really take a look at the rock that I threw, I could have said, hey, it's the same one. But
at this point, you're like, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
So did you make it up to the cemetery then, or?
Nope. Well, I went back maybe a week later because I had a job at the foot of that mountain, and I went during the day. I made it to the cemetery. I found a car wreck. I found a school bus. But outside of that trail, there's no footprints. There's no broken branches. It's just during the day, it seems like a cool hike. But at night, totally different.
Good question.
But Elliot says, why run? Investigate.
Well, let's see.
Stones hurling at you.
If it's a human and I shoot it, I go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not human and I shoot it, I die.
You might just piss it off a little bit.
I'm out of here.
Oh my God. Well, sometimes I wonder with these places too, especially if you can't find a historical reference that the legend actually happened. If so many people going there with the thought of something is going to happen, if it somehow creates, how do I even explain? Like it almost creates an energy that matches the legend or creates some kind of scary thing. I don't know.
Manifestation.
Yeah, I mean, does it work like that with enough people all, because I wonder sometimes with some of these places, like if you watch, ghost hunting or that kind of stuff, and all of these people keep going there with an expectation of something happening, and the place might not even have been haunted from the beginning, but you've got all these stories, and some of it, I think, I'm not saying this is true of what you experienced, but I think some of it people actually even think they're experiencing something just because they expect it to be happening. So, I think there's like two different things going on. Some of it, maybe it does manifest like you were saying, Elle, or maybe people read more into something than what's happening. But rocks flying, no, that is not reading more into something.